Good day, everyone, and welcome to another discussion under Understanding the Self or Psych 100. And this is the third unit of our subject. So it's all about the managing and caring for oneself. So to start off with this topic, let's take a look at this um, part. No? Under managing and caring for oneself, of course, it includes our self care. Right, so self care is anything you do that helps to maintain your physical, mental, or emotional health. So we are not only dealing with one aspect of our life here, but it's the holistic part of who we are. It includes our physical aspect, our mental aspect, and of course our emotional aspect. So hindi lang pinagtutuunan ng isa. So dapat tinitingnan din ang lahat ng anggulo ng ating buhay para maganda ang ating mental health, our emotional health, and of course physical health. Excuse me. Now, according to White, self-care will help you feel healthy, relaxed, and ready for whatever life throws at you. Since alam mo naman na you're mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, and physically healthy, of course, with that being said, you can tackle all obstacles that would come into our life. No? And especially nowadays, self-care is very important. Why? Because sometimes, dahil sa pandemya, no, we are not allowed to go out. Maybe some of you are allowed, but then majority of us are not allowed to go out to their houses kasi nga the fear of the pandemic. Now, self-care is very important nowadays kasi kung inaalagaan mo ang sarili mo, this pandemic is just another event that sabi mo sa sarili mo matatapos din. So this is very important in our life. Alright? And the reasons why self-care is very important is because it keeps you healthy, or it keeps us healthy, also helps us recharge, and of course helps us manage health issues. So it keeps you healthy, meaning at least you're taking time, okay, out of your day to do something you enjoy. No. So what are these things that you are enjoying in life? Maybe you're fond of reading, or in gaming like Mobile Legends and different kinds of online games, or any game that would relax you and promotes healthy lifestyle. No? Pero pag sobra naman, of course we have to balance all these things, and of course we have to distract our mind and body from the stressful things in our life. So from time to time, yeah, I know that you're all busy doing your modules and school requirements, but sometimes you need to relax. No? So if your module is very stressful, take time to breathe. No? Next, there is the time or self care helps us recharge. No? So a way to unwind and distress, okay, is at least you can take a bubble bath if you have. Okay? Others would say meditating is very effective for them. And pero baka ito yung paborito nating lahat, is to take a nap. Ano? So paggising mo, you're ready again to battle for the situation that you are facing right now. And of course, it can help you catch up on rest and unplug from the outside world for a little while. No? Iwasan muna yung mga pinakabisihan, mag-relax, no? Mag-recharge, take a nap, meditate if you need to, and of course, that helps us recharge, or I mean, may panibago na namang lakas para gawin ang mga bagay-bagay. Right? Now, it can help you manage health issues. Okay, it also it helps us live lives as fully as possible. No? So that's very important. So yan ang introduction when it comes to managing and caring for oneself. We'll learn more as we go along with um, our discussions. For now, the first thing that we will tackle for today is the first one, the how to become a better student. So there are things listed here that I'll be showing you later on kung paano ba maging effective kung ano yung mga study habits natin or learning techniques na pwedeng maging effective while doing our modules. No? Now, so what are these learning techniques that I'm talking about? So we have there the elaborative interrogation, self-explanation, summarization, highlighting, underlining, keyword, mnemonic, imagery for text, rereading, practice testing, distributed practice, and interleaved practice. So these are all learning techniques, and I'm sure some of you or majority of you ay alam ang mga ito. No? So simulan natin sa pinakauna, and that is elaborative interrogation. Now, the question why, right? Or the why questions. This actually helps us facilitate learning. Why? Bakit nga ba? Right? So, because we are constantly asking why things happen like that and like this, we have there the elaborative techniques wherein we can relate new information to codes already stored and familiar. So, why is this happening right now? And of course, you would relate these informations, no? Your queries to the previous events that had happened in the past, or from your experiences and from the knowledge that you already know, right? So it's more of relating new information to the um, old ones, right? Next there is self-explanation. So basically, from the word itself, it's a self-generated explanation of presented instruction that mixes the presented information, right? So it's basically your own explanation of things, no? And in self-explanation, we generate inferences to fill missing information. So maybe something is like this and like that. Okay, so because of the missing links or information, no, because of self-explanation, we were able to generate inferences, no, para matuunan or malagyan ng impormasyon ang mga bagay na kailangan nating malaman. Also, in integrating information within the study materials. How do we integrate information? From the self-generated explanation, and of course with the knowledge that we have already, which is under the third one, integrating new information with prior knowledge. So ano ba yung mga nalalaman mo tungkol sa isang bagay at kung ano yung nalaman mong bagong impormasyon tungkol sa isang bagay na yan. Right? Of course, it also monitors and repair faulty knowledge. Because of self-explanation, you were able to repair those things na dati ang alam mong hayop ay kalabaw lang, or I mean, ang kalabaw ay may sungay pero yung iba ay wala pala, no? So this just superficial example, pero mga bagay na yan, no? You were able to monitor and repair faulty knowledge. Next, summarization, and this is very familiar sa inyo, no? But then ways of summarization, some of us are just putting informations that does not include the following, like the type of work, the title, the author, and the main point in the present tense. So this should be part of your summary. Why? Because kailangan ito. Dahil pag in the future you are citing these works, no? Kasi nga plagiarism is a crime. So kailangan mong ilagay ang mga importanteng bagay na yan. Check with your outline and your original to make sure you have covered the important points. And excuse me, never put any any of your ideas, opinions, or interpretations into the summary. Why is that? Be very careful of your word choice. Kasi nga, the author himself or herself nilagay ang ganyang wording kasi nga yan ang gusto niyang ipahatid, no, or ipabatid sa atin as readers. So you can put your own opinions if you are trying to explain something but not on your summary. All right, of course, write using summarizing language, and this is the very important one as part of your summary. Excuse me. The bibliographic citation at the beginning. No? It should include the title of work, the author, the source, and use the APA format. And if you don't know what APA format is, you can search that sa Google. All right. The next is highlighting or underlining. So a number of studies reflect that reading underlined and circled or highlighted text promotes latter memory for the marked material. Ang isang problema dito minsan ay ang may mga estudyante na nagha-highlight nga sila pero buong page ng book na highlight naman. Excuse me. Yeah, I know that the whole page is very important, but here we are trying to highlight, okay, yung mga pinaka-importante. Alright, the most important point na pwede nating ma-recall in the latter part which we can explain later on. No? So, highlighting and underlining or encircling word can promote latter memory or pwede mong maalala pa yan in the future. The next one here is excuse me, the keyword mnemonic, right? So it was developed by Atkinson and Rock. All right. So the use of keywords and mental imagery to associate verbal words. So there are people who are really good at this. They can create mental imagery to the keywords. No? Take a look at this. Right? So the imagery for text. Some people are good at this. That's why those who are really good, no, or fond of reading books, right? They are very imaginative. Kasi when you're reading some part of a book na very interesting, you tend to imagine ang mga kung anong nangyayari sa isang scene sa binabasa mong book. Right? So, we form mental images of text materials while reading or listening. No? So, kaya sa yung sinasabi nila, it's better to read a book than to watch the movie. Why? Kasi you are honing or pinapalabas mo ang iyong imagination. Alright? So, let's take a look at this. There are different types of learners. We all know that the visual, the kinesthetic, and auditory. Ito yung mga pinaka-basic. So, visual learners are good na kahit binabasa pa lang ang isang book or a presentation, or when looking at movies, they are good at very detailed ang kanilang so they learn what they see. Kinesthetic is learning what you do, and of course auditory is learning from what you hear, right? And meron din yung mga ibang tao na stress learner na sinasabi that they learn what stresses them, right? Kung for example modules, it's very stressful naman talaga ang module, right? And for the easy learners, they learn what relaxes them and they scribble. Ito yung may mga tao talaga, no? There are some people who cannot understand if they're just listening to it, or when they're just seeing the text. They have to write it para mas maintindihan nila. And have there the trust learner. They learn from authority, maybe from someone who is um, their instructor or someone who has knowledge about it, about the subject matter. And the teach learner, excuse me, are people who are really good na, or natututo, okay, when they're trying to teach somebody or someone na kahit hindi naman alam masyado yung topic, but then they are trying to teach it, and at the same time they are learning from it, okay. And lastly, the copy learner, they learn what they can copy. All right, now the acronym. So a phrase that doesn't match the letters of the acronym and contains too few or too many words. So alam na alam nito kung ano ang acronym. Alright, let's take a look at an example of this. This is the classic example of acronym. No? The Roy G. Biv, that represents the color of the rainbow. And when you are a musician as well, sorry, ito pala yung sinasabi ko kanina. Sasalita ako ng hindi pala na-flash sa screen. Yan. The very classic example of acronym. And of course, if you're a musician, no, or trying to learn the notes, is to come up with words that hindi naman related, pero at least you can give yung letters from the very beginning, no? Grizzly bears don't fly airplanes. So it's like a sentence, but you're hitting two stones at the same time, no? Of course, ito din example ng remembering guitar strings. The Easter angels don't give broken eggs. So, mga ganong bagay. Alright. The next one here is rereading. And according to studies, rereading increases the total amount of information, regardless of the kind or level of information within the text. So, rereading is very important kasi nga, pag di mo naintindihan, basahin mo ulit, you will see the difference. Yung pag tinamad ka na agad, hindi mo nababasahin, wala ka talagang maintindihan. And I've had this experience, no? When I was taking my board exam, or before I took my board exam, we have to read a lot of times. Kasi nga sa psychology, there are different theories and concepts na kailangan mong i-differentiate, almost related sila. So it's very different or difficult. So what are the benefits of rereading? So we have their vocabulary and word recognition. You become familiar and comfortable with a greater number of words, and fluency as well. It makes moving on to another more appealing. And comprehension, you dive deeper into the story's meaning, and of course the confidence, more self-assured about the abilities. That's why let's enjoy reading. Right? Now, the next one is a practice testing that, according to studies, no, more than 100 years of research has yielded several hundred experiments showing that practice testing enhances learning and retention. So we usually do this before during my high school and college days. We practice together with my friends, no? Before exams or before exams or quizzes, nagpa-practice talaga kami. We give questions and answers or magsusulat kami sa blackboards and all para lang ma-enhance ang aming learning. And it's very effective. You can retain informations. Now, since we wouldn't be able to do that, no? Best thing na ginagawa ko dati is to look questions online related sa subject. So it can help also. And of course, you can gain more knowledge from it. Next there is the distributed practice, right? So if you look at these two tables, or I mean two diagrams, it's composed of the mass practice and the distributed practice. So as you can see, in the mass practice, you study in a longer time, but you rest for a very short time. Again, you rest and you study again, rest, study, and rest. So, in other words, this is more of like a cramming time, no? Kasi nga bukas na ang exam. Okay? So, you'll read for 7 hours, you rest for at least 30 minutes, you read again. As compared to distributed practice, if you have a longer time, no, to study, we have there a longer time to rest and a shorter time to practice. Longer time again. Ano ang benefits nito? Anong kinaganda ng distributed practice? Is more of the long-term retention. Okay? The long-term retention, meaning to say, mas tatagal pa ang knowledge na makukuha mo if you do the distributed practice. Right? And if you would look at this one, no, sabi dito, most students, even adult learners, tend to cram the night before their exams. I'm guilty of this when I was studying. No? That pag alam kong matagal pa ang exams, of course, chill-chill lang. Okay? But then, maybe a night before the exams, doon ako magbabasa ng mga notes ko. No? However, according to research, studying the material over long delays actually lessens studying time and increases retention. So, long delays between study periods are ideal to retain fundamental concepts that come from the basis for advanced knowledge. So, what is the optimal time to allow us to remember better? So, when we look at this, no, one day, sabi dito, many students conduct mass practice where they conduct few but long study sessions for a given course. However, this allow them to remember for just a few days or maybe overnight. Okay? Yung mass practice, mawawala agad yan. Okay? But to remember study materials for at least a week or more, one should study 12 to 24 hours apart after learning the material. Right? So there's the parang gap, no? And if you want to remember concepts in longer time, 5 years or more, okay, you study at least, no, one should study 6 to 12 months after learning. So kaya nga sinasabi nila, there's a continuous learning is a continuous process kasi hindi naman sinabing kapag nakapag-graduate ka na. For sure, hindi mo din maaalala lahat ng konsepto na tinuro sa'yo. So, it takes a lot of time to practice more and more, no, for us to retain those informations. Right? Now, the last part of our discussion for today is the interleaved practice. It's more of incorporating material from multiple class presentations, assigned readings, and problems. So, alam naman natin na hindi lang iisa ang ating subject sa college, no? We have different subjects. We have majors, subjects, and minors. Now, it's up sa atin na, okay? Kung paano natin i-incorporate ang mga ito sa from one class to another if there are relationships about this. So, interleaved practice is hindi lang isang bagay ang pinagtutuunan, but then we incorporate different practices in our multiple classes or multiple modules. Let's say 8 or 7 ang subjects nyo. and you have to incorporate these things already, right? So that's the end of our discussion for now, no? And we'll discuss more later on. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.